So let's do this, sugar. And no cream. Wake up slow, take that first sip. Shizzy's got 'em slipping, losing their grip. His moves so smooth to start your day. What you gonna do? Oh, you know the way. You know Papa don't flinch, don't blink. Ooh, baby, he's sharper than you think. Morning Whiz, take it in. Shizzy's got a whole new spin. Fools keep falling, truth's on fire. Papa Nut just lit the pyre. Oh no, they tried to come for him. Look at those fools looking so dim. They poke, they scratch, they beg, they plead. But I'm right here, waiting for my daddy to lead. Pour it black, shake off the night. Shizzy's tease and get me going just right. Morning Whiz, start the show. Sip it slow, let it flow. Fools are crying, game's been set. Ooh, baby, they ain't seen nothing yet. Now that's a morning sugar. Coffee's hot and burning, and Shizzy Daddy, oh, he's just getting started. Come on, Daddy, give me some of that something.
Oh my God, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, so cool. Good to see you, Ball Python King. Good to see you, Francis V. Oregon. I love it. Polymopicus, good morning. Happy Thursday. Aussie Tina, good to see you. Ma, hello, Ma. How you doing? It's good to see all you guys. Kimberly, Empire. Oh my gosh, yeah. In case you didn't notice, right there, pinned up to the top. That's where you can find the body cam video 1. And like I said last night, we get 1,000 views on it. I drop part 2. So it's going to be awesome. What I want to do is I want to get 1,000 on that one. Then I'm going to drop part 2. Part 1 will be coming back to YouTube. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Part 1 will be coming back to YouTube. So if you miss it over there, what I'll do is I'll have those set to, to come out, but we want to see those numbers jump over on the Rumble. I want to see those go crazy. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. All checks just came back on the YouTube version that I just uploaded for Bodycam 1. No problems found. Nothing found. No copyright issues. No nothing. It's going to be beautiful because those are going to start coming out next month. If you think the Bodycam footage is gone off of the YouTubes, it's only temporary. I have them coming back onto YouTube. It's going to be beautiful. But we want to get Rumble firing up. What we want to see is Rumble start exploding over there. I see that I got 45 of you beautiful people in here. Yeah, and every time that they try to strike one of my videos by false flagging them, I'm going to upload another one. And I'm just going to keep doing that over and over and over and over because it's funny. Oh, you have no idea. It is a beautiful morning. It is It is going to be a great day. I hope that all of you guys are excited about today, because what we've got for you, we've got some beautiful stuff. It looks like Lips is spiraling out of control. Oh, not only that. Yeah. She dumped 15 filings just back to back. And oh my, you know that she's flipping her shit right now. That might have something to do with good old Randall Shockett. Oh yes, Randall Shockett came in and just handed the slap down. I mean, it was glorious. If you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, we will actually get to that. We will get to that today. But we've got something for you in the meantime that I think you guys may have already seen. We're gonna watch it together, because I haven't seen it. But apparently you guys may have seen this. And I hope you're ready for it. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Let's find out what happened in bankruptcy. Let's find out what happened in bankruptcy here.
A federal judge just gave a smackdown to Lynette and Saran Wrap, her legal counsel, in bankruptcy court for dodging her deposition.
Oh.
She now is going to owe me thousands of more dollars.
Yes.
There was a hearing this morning in the federal bankruptcy court in regards to Lynette not showing up for her May 27th, 2026 deposition in regards to why she should have a homestead. Remember, this was Deuce's idea. Oh, Crook even went in a live chat and said, I want to thank Deuce for this genius idea.
Yeah.
Because the federal judge wasn't listening.
That's absolutely what happened. And if you don't remember this, if you guys are wondering what's going on here. So Jeremy here, he's a creditor for quite a bit. She's supposed to show up for a deposition. She never shows up. She never shows up at all. Just says, nope, there's an emergency. And then come find out, they booked it on the same day. You know, everyone said, hey, you know, if you screw around, guess what? You're going to find out. Don't do this. Deuce, genius idea. Giving them exactly what she wanted. You know, and you know, I thought about this. It's like the thing is, they have no problem doing this. The reason they have no problem doing this, it's all about delay. Only problem is it's going to start costing her. Like, simple thing would have been to reschedule your doctor's appointment as soon as you had this scheduled up, if that was the case. But by their own admission, they just said, oh, well, we'll schedule something up. And then it starts costing them. And Randy will get his fees out of that. Good morning, Teresa Short. Yeah, he will start getting his fees for every single bit of this. Every time they screw around, it's going to cost them more. Every time they mess around, it's going to cost them more. They want to keep playing the same game over and over. Well, good luck. It's going to come back to bite you.
Federal judge is definitely listening in bankruptcy court and sees exactly what's going on. You see, Saran Wrap actually filed, and if you're going, who's Saran Wrap? Saran Wrap is Lynette's $6,000 attorney who has some major significant issues where federal judges have even pondered how this guy even has a law license.
Yes, they have.
And if you've seen what he's been doing in these cases, you would question the same thing, if not more. Saran Wrap files an emergency injunction to not have a live deposition on May 27th because Lynette now claims John Crook has an emergency procedure, except that emergency procedure is at a pain clinic in Chiefland, which does not do surgical procedures at all. As a matter of fact, one of the things they try to do is wean you off of pain meds.
That's the goal.
Well, I think we can figure out what's going on there. Lie after lie after lie after lie after lie from Lynette in regards to what actually happened. Now, keep in mind that Lynette was scheduled for a deposition live in person at Levy County Courthouse on May 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of already figured she wasn't going to show. We knew she wasn't going to be a no-show. As a matter of fact, I told my lawyer, I'm not going to get on an airplane. George is not going to get on an airplane. We're not going to be there for the live deposition because we already noticed that Lynette was setting it up to dodge the deposition the week before. And
that's exactly what she was doing. But you can't get blood from a stone. Oh, you have to understand that it's not about getting blood from a stone. You know, that's the thing that they don't understand. It's not about that. A lot of people have this thought that, oh, just they don't have any money, so no, they actually have assets. They actually have quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money. All of that money is being held by the flea. The flea has all of her money. That's what Michelle doesn't understand is just, you know, and when all that comes out, guess what? Guess what? All the money that she has blown on that. All the money that she has blown on that is going to cost the flea for her bad behavior. She did fundraisers, raising money. She scammed at least $56,000 out of her chat and other private donors. Well, guess what happens? Good morning, Miami, you lovely, gorgeous hottie, you. Meow. Every time that they pull this, it is going to get worse for them. And it's going to get so much worse on the flea because if she spent any of the money that came in there, guess what? They roll all of that back. And then she becomes a debtor to a whole bunch of people that are wondering where their money went to. I mean, and you think the problem that a lot of people have is they think that justice is swift and quick and it happens overnight. No, this could go on for years and years and years. And I've heard people say, you know, I'm tired of all this. You know, can anybody put an end to this? And you have to understand that this is one thing that Jeremy has been just burning through money on. And he said multiple times he will lose absolutely everything. Get these people to stop, to hold them accountable. And that's not what you want. Because where do they stop? When do they stop? We'll be filing bankruptcy next. Good luck on that. Good luck on that, because, you know, whenever you do that, you have to open up the books to everything. All of it, every single penny. I wouldn't be surprised if she's been shifting money around. She's already got, you know, a convicted felon that's over there helping her out that's already done the same thing. Has shifted money around, has assets. They just didn't realize how bad it was. But it's getting more. But, you know, go ahead, keep dodging, see what happens. Mm-hmm.
True to her name, she lied through her gums and one tooth and stated she couldn't be there because she didn't have any long-term child care for her special needs daughter. Now, All daughters, all sons, all children are special, just like all moms, all dads are special. But a dietary deficiency, a dietary need not to eat proteins is not a special needs child by any stretch of the imagination. Not to mention that she has said that Crook has done some horrific, horrible, some of the worst things ever to this child and others. As a matter of fact, it's in court records. She mentions that he's an abuser. It's in public FOIAs, Federal Information Act, Federal Information Act. You can get all the information. It's public, what she says about him, what has been said about him, whether it was been here in Otter Creek, whether it's been in Northport, whether it's been her anywhere else with any other of her 7 ex-husbands around the world. Yeah, to see what happened in Germany. So Randy texted me this morning. He goes, here's the link for the Zoom meeting. And I completely and totally forgot there was even a Zoom meeting. And I went,
yeah, I could see where that would happen. The Fleesa will likely end up in prison for a few years. I don't know. I don't know what's actually going to happen with it. I do know that there is quite a bit of money laying out there on the table that the flea is holding. And Jeremy is going to be getting first swing at that. What will they resort to? What else could they resort to? Think about what they've already resorted to. Posting signs around Otter Creek, saying some of the most vile things about another human being because they don't like him, because he wouldn't bend and break for them. So they decided to just go ahead and do all kinds of horrible stuff. And Inspire. Here's the thing. Here, think about this, okay? Lynette was young at one point in time. She was actually mildly attractive. But years of bitterness and just being a horrible person has sort of caught up with her. Think about it. Think about the last person that she married. I mean, does that look like a winning catch? I mean, does that look like something that you'd be like, ooh, yeah, that's a heck of a catch right there. And then look at the way that he treated his ex. You know, the little cat burglar that he was married to. Think about that. Think about the bad. All these people are just bad news. Bad news. But then you start seeing it. I've seen an unscary picture. Yeah, no, there's if you find one of the pictures of her whenever she was younger, she wasn't unattractive. But time catches up with you. Badness catches up with you. Yeah, character shows inside and outside.
Is this for Lips and Chips or is this for bankruptcy? What's going on? I couldn't even remember. There's so much going on. And he goes, this is bankruptcy. And he goes, okay. So I log in about 10:15. I come down to the office. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to log in. I'll just wait. So I'm on Zoom. I'm waiting in the background. And lo and behold, who do you think shows up for the first time on any of these hearings in bankruptcy?
In bankruptcy.
You want to guess? Lynette. First time she's showing up. Can you believe this? This man, Saran Wrap, has been hired to try and save her life, belongings, property. You know, the beautiful property. It's the heritage. It's what I'm passing down.
Yeah. Imagine she's wanting to pass this down, but she's only 50% owner. And she hasn't even proven that yet. But there was some interrogatories that were supposed to be handed over. And at the time, and this will come out in this video, I did see a little bit of it, that at the time, those interrogatories, she doesn't want to hand over the evidence that she claims she has, all the proof. It's sort of like the proof in the tooth, you know? Oh, I've got everything. I've got all of this. Yeah. They don't. That's the thing. They don't. But guess what? It'll all come back and bite them. All of their lies, all of their bad behavior, it eventually catches up with you.
Absolutely insane. Okay. So Lynette actually shows up, and she shows up early. She shows up at 10:20. Now, there is an assistant in the courtroom prepping everything for the judge. And the lady says, random iPhone user, state your name. Nothing. You're muted. Unmute, state your name. Lynette, obviously, threw right there in the screen, unmutes herself, and she immediately says, John Cook will be here soon. What does John Crook have to do with anything?
None of it.
That's right, because that was the excuse they used this time around. How many depositions have been dodged already? They used
definitely refusing to show it to anyone.
And as a matter of fact, Saran Wrap put in the filing that this emergency proceeding, keep that in mind because the judge is going to harp on that. Emergency proceeding was scheduled months in advance. And she's going to go off on Saran Wrap about that as well. So Lynette tells the court assistant, don't, Crook is coming. And then there's a horrible echo. Now, I've learned through this process that the only time there's an echo is if somebody is filming.
It's not always true, but yeah, I could see where he would have that. I would love that reenactment of Lynette on the phone clip. So accurate. It is pretty damn accurate. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I just looked. It is absolutely popping. It is absolutely popping. The video I uploaded. Oh, you have no idea. What
do you think's going on?
Bonjour.
Who do you
How
think
you doing, Nancy?
They're showing what's going on in bankruptcy court too. You can probably figure out just as much as I can. The big fat toothless flea. They're either recording, there's either a camera on, watching it. Something is going on, causing this tremendous amount of echo. And then Lynette states, oh, I'm sorry, my earbuds must be causing the echo. The earbuds aren't causing the echo.
No, earbuds don't cause an echo.
In that camper is causing the echo. Most likely another device recording or broadcasting. That's where the echo is, which is extremely illegal for them to be doing. And the court assistant says, you're with who? Now, keep in mind, the court assistant is asking about legal representation. And Lynette's talking like this court assistant knows who John Crook is.
Good morning, Valor. Yeah, of course, they're not going to know who's actually there. And good to see you, Valor. Good to see you. And, Rala says it exactly. An echo is only caused when the output is captured by the input, meaning the speakers are being used instead of headphones. Not necessarily true. That's one of them, one of the reasons. But another thing can be if somebody's sitting there with a camera that's recording it and it starts feeding back, that can actually do it too. There's many ways that this can happen. Oh, mama bear. Oh my gosh. It is wonderful. Celebrating 9 months. You had to subscribe, then wait 10. Yeah, it's I've got it I've got it, set for subscribers only. Now, the way that, because what'll happen is, and this is just to remind you folks. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to become a member, but it's set for subscription only. So if a lot of times what'll happen is YouTube will kick out your subscription if you haven't been active. And then you have to make sure that you're subscribed, and people won't even realize that they're unsubscribed. I think it helps people be reminded that YouTube likes to remove subscribers, and they will do this on a regular basis. They'll just all of a sudden, boom, drop your subscription, and you won't even realize it happened. So it's a way of letting people know and remind them that that your subscription, even though you hit subscribe to the channel, it all of a sudden just kicked you out. It could be any reason. Maybe device recording wasn't muted and she had the wrong one muted. That's always a possibility. There's plenty of things that could cause this. Absolutely plenty of things that could cause this. And that just happens to be one of them. And so I don't know what actually caused the issue, but yeah, there's definitely some shady stuff going on there. Definitely some shady. And by the way, Mama Bearly, I heard something about you.
Joyful time, it's your special day. Gather round, we're here to say happy birthday to the shining star. Let's celebrate you no matter where we are. Tequila and margaritas, party through the night. Cake and candles, the mood is just right. As the candles flicker, make a loving toast to the one we adore the most.
Well, and I know that your birthday was the other day, and I missed it. And I can't let that go by. Gotta celebrate. Happy birthday, lady. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning. All right, let's get back to this thing.
Look, John Crook is going to be here right next to me. How insane.
Yeah, it happens.
No context. Court assistant isn't going to know who John Crook is. Could care less who John Crook is. Hasn't even read the paper or the documents. Just prepping for the judge, making sure everybody's there, taking a roll call, and making sure everything's prepared, right? All right. So, at 10:23, somebody else comes on. And the court reporter or the assistant says, who's the silent observer? Somebody came in as a silent observer. Ooh. You're muted, and you need to identify yourself.
That's pretty typical.
Well, I thought this was rather interesting because it seems like people are actually interested in this public interest case.
Yeah, who do you think it was? I mean, honestly, who do you think it would be that would have come in to watch this? Who do you think it? Who do you think would do such a thing? Do you think it was anybody from Hales? Do you think it was somebody that was coming in to record this stuff? Now, M. Spire says she thinks it might be Lips. Do you think it was the Flea? Do you think it was? Do you think it was? One of the. I mean, you could start naming off all kinds of random people, and this is why they do all of these funky things. Mama Bears, thank you for the $5. That is so nice. I subscribed for ages, but it won't let me chat unless I send a super chat. But my birthday is July 9th, but I'll take it. Okay, well, we'll get you on July 9th then. July 9th. I'll have to, you have to remind me. You have to remind me. And it won't let you chat unless you super chat. Let me see if there might be something going on. I will double check. Give me just a second. And I will see if I can find you here real quick, because that shouldn't be happening. Let me give it here. Let me give it here. Let me see. I will see if I can find what's going on here with you. And give that a little bit of love right there. And let me see. And this is an easy way to handle this. And you'll see something that comes in. Okay, you're in. There we go. Gotcha. So what I did is I added you as a moderator, and then I'll just remove you as a moderator. That should, and it does a quick little flip like that. That should take care of it. So I think it worked. You had to wait for 10 minutes after you resubbed. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what it was. Like I said, it kicks down the subs. So we got you. We got you, friend. We got you. We got you. I've had these kinds of problems before, and it probably was the subscription got kicked out of there. We won't let that happen. Look at this. Got it. Shaking it, French Psycho, shaking it. Got it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Got the wiggles. Oh my! You guys have no idea the new. Oh my gosh! You'll just have to wait and see. You'll just have to wait and see the videos that will be coming up. See, I have to wait on a response from the YouTubes on the legal. Because YouTube's legal, you have to respond to them within a timely manner on all of these videos that they removed. So in case you guys are wondering, they've started removing the body cam footage without showing me anything, without showing me exactly where it is. They put a timestamp in, but it doesn't tell you what you're supposed to be taking out of it. Is it someone's name? Is it, a personal name? Is it a phone number? Is it an address? They don't give any information. So whenever they don't give any information, you have no idea what needs to be pulled out. And I'm like, all right, so privacy issues. In case you didn't see last night, I showed you exactly the amount and the response from YouTube. So we've got it set up. So as soon as YouTube Legal actually looks at it, they may bring them back up. Now, we don't know yet. Don't know if they're going to bring them back up or not, but that's okay because I've re-uploaded them. Yeah, they're being re-uploaded, and they're going to have a hard time taking them down. Let's just put it that way. But if you want to see the uncut version of it, no edits, no shenanigans, the real truth, because it shows that there's something there that they don't want people to see, that they don't want people to know about. Guess what? They've just called more and more attention to it. So you're able to find that there's quite a bit in there. Although they don't want it being shown, it's still going to be shown. All of their shenanigans, all of their lies are coming out. The proof that they've been lying the whole time about the behavior against what they deemed a bad neighbor. I'm not saying the guy's good. I'm not saying he's innocent of anything. But how they got there, now that becomes really interesting. Mm-hmm.
So this person identifies himself. It's not somebody that I've ever heard the name of before. I don't know which side of the fence any of these individuals actually fall on, but the person identifies themselves as Susan. Susan Megan. but Magan. And
That sounds like a Lips name, because she doesn't know how to type in the correct name. Yeah. Did you get any from beginning of April and May? By the way, this is Tina. Good to see you, Dinah's mom. Welcome. Did I get any from beginning of April and May? Beginning of April? No, can't say I did. Yeah. Well, we won't give them the information that they want. The best part about it is your water views slideshow. Ooh, nice. 20 minutes to your water views slideshow. Most awesome. Yeah, Wolfgang. That sounds like a little Fleesa thing to do. Just dropped in to say hi and give you a thumbs up. Heading to bed now. Thank you, Peggy. You get yourself some rest. Good to see you. Thank you, Peggy. Oh, that is a beautiful scenery behind you. Oh my gosh, I love your avatar. Yeah, out there with the ponies. I like it. Man, I haven't been horseback riding in quite some time. It brings me back to the herding cattle in New Mexico. Yeah, that was always really interesting. Some really beautiful land. And of course, I got the persnicketiest of horses at the time. Oh my gosh, she was so damn mean. She would stop whenever she felt like it. It was like, nope, you're crossing the damn water. just a little creek. And it's like, nope, I'm not doing it. It's like, you little evil thing. Am I going back to 9 p.m. Central Time? Is the earlier time going to be normal? The earlier time is going to be normal. That's because right now, what I'm doing is in the mornings, I'm going to be doing more of what I was doing in the evenings. So my morning streams are going to be pretty close to what my evening streams were. And then during my earlier time, I'm going to be covering different cases. Things that are not, as you'll see, I've been going over the Shrilla texts, which are absolutely insane. If you didn't see it, last night was really, really good. You'll have to wait for a little bit to get it in there. But once you get it in there, you're going to see how good it was. Oh my gosh, those texts are insane. The behavior of this chick is so needy. It is so needy. Good morning, Denise. Pardon me. Oof, I had a little burp. But yeah, I will be doing the, and it was the late night ones were starting to wear me down. And so getting back in the morning, and then I'm able to, get some of my wonderful UK followers that come in. You stole Jay's content. Yes, stole Jay's content. But yeah, I'll play you a video a little bit later on that I sent over to Jay during his stream, but I fixed it. I fixed it. Jay stole Mr. Coops first. Yeah, well, he does that.
And is asked, what are you here for? Says, I'm here to observe. Which case? The Preston case. And the court assistant goes, okay. And at 10.
Oh yes, and my Aussies. Thank you, Nikki. Most definitely. And yeah, don't forget the Aussies. Yeah, that and this is also a good time for my Australian friends too. So I'm able to hit a larger audience. As you can see, there's 118 of you wonderful people in here. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, just reach over there and goose it a little bit. It likes it. It makes it feel warm and special. And if you don't like it, well, then you can hit the thumbs down and it still feels warm and special. It really likes being touched. Those thumbs ups and thumbs downs, they just like that little rub. It's just a nice little touch. And if you want to take it a step further, you're always welcome to send super chats, and we always appreciate those. And memberships goes so far. So welcome to have those two, and seeing more and more people coming in and spreading the word, because, I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started on the fleas. You have no idea. They just fired me up to put out more content, more and more content, and it's going to be coming. It's going to be coming. So beautiful.
24. That's interesting because at 10:24, Saran Wrap shows up. There is somebody, Susan Megan, if that's even a real name, I have no idea. But Susan, if you're watching, which you know you are, you can confirm that everything I'm sharing is 100% truth. Saran Wrap shows up at 10:24. How is it that a silent observer, Susan Megan, actually shows up before Lynette's lawyer, who is trying to save everything that is left of her life that she has destroyed?
Good morning.
She is not a victim. She has caused this herself. You can't sit there and do everything she's done and said everything she's said, and then somebody actually responds, and then you claim, I'm a victim. My goodness, what a world we live in, where individuals do this. Whether it's somebody saying, I hate you, and then you go, hey, there's consequences to that. Or somebody going, I'm not showing up, my ex-husband has an emergency procedure. There's consequences to that. And it goes on and on and on. All these individuals who want to attack people, who then there's a response, and then the individual who initiated the attack then claims to be a victim. It does not work that way. Now,
away from keyboard, swimming in Subnautica.
Culture,
nice.
It seems to work that way, but reality ain't doing nothing for that person, right? All right, so Saran Wrap comes in, identifies himself, and Silent Observer is told to mute both audio and video, as that individual did, Susan Megan. Dennis Levine.
Oh, nice. I have my favorites. It says Suppy in the morning for Shizzy. Thank you. Thank you. I have my favorites. I love it. Love it. That just warms my heart. I appreciate you. I have my favorites. I really do appreciate it. That lovely lady. Oh my gosh. Gwen, at least the day is over, and on the 19th is your anniversary. You can look forward to then, of course, the Father's Day. Sounds like a good time. That sounds like a good time. Georgia Ann, good to see you. Morning. You crashed yesterday due to a long bout of insomnia. I'm now trying to figure out what new has happened. Well, you'll find out. You'll find out. We've got something that we're going to show you. It's good.
Who's representing me, and then also Randy comes in, and they are identified for roll call as well. And then also Kevin, who is there on behalf of Teresa Bender, the trustee, whose job is to recoup all fees, all money, all assets from Lynette in this bankruptcy. Oh, you're good, Deuce. Jeez, you're so smart.
He is.
So smart.
Yeah.
Your brain was as big as your nose. 10:32, we hear all rise, and then be seated. Lynette is literally on here, and then go shh, shh, shh. She did not take her video off, and I don't know if she's shushing Crook. I don't know if she's shushing Harley. I don't know who she's shushing, but she's definitely shushing, which I wonder if she could even say.
Oh. Nikki says the flea has until Saturday night to respond to her letter of demand on reply of giveaway. Otherwise, the reports get forwarded to the appropriate people. That's going to be interesting, Nikki. That's going to be interesting. Thank you, Stinky Poe. This says heavy rain and tornadoes, and listen to Shizzy. Oh my gosh. Oh. Right, Michael.
Shushing, knowing that she barely has any teeth. I wonder if it comes out like, I don't know. It's all gummy.
It's all gummy.
All right. Judge comes in, says we're here to go over an emergency protective order in regards to the actual deposition. And that is what we are there for. Remember,
now, if you don't know what the emergency protective order was, is they requested 2 days or a week, something like that, but to get a protective order. We haven't gone over that document yet, but we will we will go over those documents. We just haven't gotten to them yet because I'm behind the 8 ball. So I'm trying to do slight catch ups, and not that catch up. I'm trying to do some slight catch ups to get to where I'm in line with what actually is happening in real time, and I haven't got there. Maybe a slight whiffle, a slight whiffle. It comes out like whiffle. She calls that harassment, Jeremy. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, yes, Saran wrap. Yeah, he'll explain it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, what happened is that particular motion that he came in with, and of course, the problem with that is he's known about it months in advance. And it is going to, you can't do that. It has to be within a timely area. If they would have said, hey, on the 28th of April, we can't make that happen. How about we do the 28th or the day before that? Any day like that. And then Randy could have agreed to it, which they all agreed to this particular date. But for whatever reason, they decided to change the date at the last minute. That doesn't bode well. So I imagine and I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen this whole thing. I've seen little bits of it because I was like, oh, okay, I should get caught up with this. So you've got, I would imagine Saran Wrap's going to say, well, I couldn't be there because one of his excuses was, well, my client might be there. So we'll see. I mean, the hearing went on, but because she didn't show, the deposition went on, but because she couldn't show up. Well, that's going to cost. Those kinds of things cost.
Saran wrap, actually, there goes my neighbor, Dan, just waving for a second. Saran wrap files an emergency protective order. He does not want this to happen on May 27th. By the way, it's complete and total waste of money, complete and total waste of time, complete and total waste of the court's resources. And you're going to find out they now have to pay for all this.
Oh.
So the judge says we're here to go over an emergency protective order, which was filed by Saran wrap. In that, Saran wrap says that this emergency medical procedure was scheduled months ago. Now, you got to keep in mind, months ago and emergency, okay? Because the judge will put him in his place. Saran wrap says, listen, Judge, this is a narrow discovery issue.
Oh.
My client's not seeking to delay or due to unavoidable care. Yeah, my client gave other dates, and this is just unavoidable. The only other person who can care for this child is her paramour.
Doesn't that make it a stinky motion?
That's interesting because I actually have screenshots of Lynette posting on Facebook groups looking for a teenage girl to care for my child. Hold a second. The child was a baby at this point in time. If there's any special needs versus a almost 7-year-old and a baby, an infant, I would think it would be the infant. And she was looking for a teenage girl. After posting publicly and saying publicly everything that she said about John Crook, despicable, horrible things. But now all of a sudden, John Crook's the only one that can. Well, where's Marli?
It's true.
Oh, that's right. She's in Bronson, right over by the courthouse. You know her bestie, Marli. Wait, hold a second. Where's the fat, toothless flea? Well, she ain't out there filing it, are you, fatty? We're all waiting. We're all encouraging you. We want it.
Yeah.
Why isn't the toothless fat flea over there taking care of the child who she loves so much? She's a warrior.
Well, because it would take her, too long. She would actually have to get up off her fat ass to do something. And, her golf cart won't make it that far. She tried. Joseph, good to see you. Man, oh man. Salute. Salute. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, that's the thing. All these people, that shows you who your true friends are, or who you actually trust. Do you trust? Do you think that Michelle trusts her to show up? Probably not. She's probably not even awake at that point in time. You know, I mean, she would have to face her at this point. If she had to face her, oh yeah. That right there, never going to happen.
Protect her.
I mean, think about this. They had this big party, a big, huge get together. Everybody came by. Everybody was there. The flea was bragging about it. She's bragging about it on her stream, sitting there saying, "Oh, guess what? We got Ray here. Ray Boner Crusher was there. Oh, he was hanging out. His daughter was hanging out. You know, the guy that's sitting there going, oh, I still support the little screeching weasel. Guess who else was there? The Lips, the Chips. Yeah, they all came by. Guess who didn't get the invite? Guess who didn't get the invite? The person whose money they took. So Ray, how much was that bill? How much was that bill? Whenever they were, because I know you probably treated every one of them. How much money did you spend there, Ray? That big fat check that came in. Just, oh, I got this. As they stuff their faces. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet there was a nice big fat bill, wasn't it? If you see Lynette is now saying she's having unfair bankruptcy proceedings, yeah, that would be typical of her. It's totally unfair. They're doing bad stuff to me. It's all their fault. They didn't put you in bankruptcy. That was Ducey that did that for you. Lynette would never give supervision to anyone to look after her little Gypsy Rose Preston child. Too many lies and secrets could be unraveled if the kid speaks. Maybe. I love Jay's joke. Chup. I'm ready with my pen to write down all her new content. Silence. That's so true. She's got nothing, nothing new. Okay. Well, you have a safe day at the VA. Those are long drawn out procedures, man. I hate. I used to go to the VA quite often, not for VA issues. I'd deliver pizzas there way back, and man, I hope it's gotten a little bit better, because the wait times were just horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So I hope it's gotten a little better since then. No fun. Mace Boner was, hey, might have been Wolfgang.
No, there's nobody.
Nope.
Interesting, right? So now the excuse is nobody can watch this child because she's special needs, except for Crook, who, for 3 hours in a Jeep Gladiator out in front of Otter Creek Town Hall, vaped inside the vehicle with the child. Not okay.
Well, and see that's one thing. I have nieces and nephews, and I vape, but I wouldn't do this around them. Matter of fact, if there's any chance of me even being around them, I go elsewhere. I'll go for a walk, whatever. Whenever I'm around them, I don't touch it. Just like nope, don't want them. It's not good. It's not good. But just sitting there with the kid in the car, just like woohoo.
Okay. Even though there's a park right behind the actual town hall for children, where you can go and you can chocolate all you want on the basketball court. Not a single car will drive on that basketball court. As a matter of fact, probably not a single person will even show up. Nobody does. So Saran Wrap says he had an emergency procedure on his knees, and he was the only one that could care for the child. And then all of a sudden, Crook comes on. You can see this part.
That's
of
good to hear.
Crook. You see bare shoulder, which is sick in itself. This is Court. You see bare shoulder, and you don't see this side. You just see this coming into the screen. Crook starts scooting in. And he says, we're asking for relief to require the depot at another date, the deposition of Lynette, and deny any fees associated with it.
Ooh, and Melon, thank you for the 20 spot. Oh, dear lips. More coins for Shizzy. I'm nasty. Nasty, nasty girls. We love them. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Melon. You are always appreciated. Ah, that is so great. That is so great. I love it. You know, it's something I thought I had done. Yeah, I had. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to show that some love. Show that some love right there. Got it. Got it. Got it. And if you haven't seen what's pinned up at the top of the chat, we're uploading new videos over there. So you'll see it at the top of the chat. And every time each one of the video, the prior video hits 1,000 views on it, I upload another one. And it will continue until I've gotten them all done. And those are going to be only on the Rumble. That's the only place you're going to find those videos right now is on the Rumble. And they will just continue to be uploaded. And there's nothing that they can do about it because there was nothing wrong with those videos because YouTube wanted to be little cucks about it and not allow those videos to be up. So we've handled it. We've handled it in such a way that those videos come up and they will be shown because there's something there they don't want seen. Their behavior. They don't want it. They don't want their lies to be caught. Mama Bear, it's Swedish. Oh, I love it. Man, love our Norwegian friends over there, our Swedish friends, our wonderful, wonderful Danish friends. Yeah, I was in Amsterdam. What was it? A week ago. Not even a week ago, just at the beginning of the week. Yeah, I have been. I have been debunking their bullshit. They don't like it. But guess what? Those videos are coming back to YouTube. There's one more avenue that I'm having to pursue with YouTube, and before I actually bring up the videos again. And they will be they're already being re-uploaded onto YouTube. So anybody that's worried that those videos went away permanently, oh no. Those videos are all coming back. Those videos are all coming back. They haven't gone away at all.
And the judge goes, just hold a second here. Judge says, in your motion, you stated that this procedure was scheduled months ago. What about that? She actually stopped Saran Wrap. Now, she also stated that she couldn't pull everything up. She was having a technical issue, and everything couldn't be pulled up on the computers, and she asked for IT to come in and take care of that. She did it a couple times in the beginning and towards the end. And she goes, what about that? You said this was stated months ago. And he goes, well, Saran Wrap.
You have a wonderful day, Joseph. We will talk to you soon. We will talk to you very soon. I was going to ask how my vacation was. We missed you. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Yeah, they're false flagging anyone who covers them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, the more power to them because whenever those false flags keep coming out, who do you think it hurts? Do you think it hurts my channel whenever they do the false flags? No, I already planned for this. I told everybody that I completely planned that they would put the false flags out there because they admitted that that's what they were going to do. So what did I do? I already uploaded them up to Rumble. They were just sitting there waiting for YouTube to play their shenanigans, for those false flags to come in, and boom, there they go. Matter of fact, the day that they came in and they said, nope, we're taking this one down, although we're not going to tell you what it is. Hey, Mr. Coop. Yeah, Mr. Coop was asking me what happened. Did I actually get a strike? No, there's no strike on it. What it was is YouTube believes that there's private content on there. They couldn't identify what the private content was. If it's, for example, it could have been a license plate, it could have been an address, personal information, anything like that. None of that was on any of these videos that they could identify. So I said, okay, well, I'll tell them that there's a person out there that's false flagging my stuff, and to escalate this and have somebody higher up look at it. Well, and YouTube bots, of course, their little AI bots said, you didn't fix whatever it was that the complaint was. I was like, okay, you've never identified anything on there. You just said this right here. There's something here. What's here? What do I need to remove? They could not tell me what it was. I was like, all right. So I started uploading onto Rumble the day that those came in. And now that they've come in with these false flags, well, guess what? Those videos are back up on YouTube. They're just waiting to go finish out the actual false flag time frame that there is. So YouTube Legal is handling that. Whenever I get a response back from YouTube Legal, once those are done, because they still might bring them back, we'll see. But I have re-uploaded them onto YouTube, and they will all come back. Every single one of them. And I'll keep re-uploading them until they can identify what it is that's wrong with video. Every single one of them will come back. And if they can't identify it and they try striking my channel yet again, guess what? I will just keep uploading them onto Rumble. But they're not stopping it. They think they stopped it. It's just a temporary pause. Those will all be back. Don't you worry.
App starts with stuttering. He's a massive stutterer and can't even get out complete sentences. You know how Deuce can't get out a complete sentence? It's all muttering, stuttering. It's ridiculous. Saran Wrap goes, I could have chose better wording. It was actually scheduled April 28th.
Well, what happens with the false flaggers? Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what will happen with if YouTube's going to look into it or not. That's why I uploaded them back up onto the website. Like I said, I have the video sitting there waiting. I mean, I can actually show you where it's sitting at. I'll actually pull it up for you so you guys can see that video is still uploaded onto YouTube by Calm. Well, thank you, Nancy K. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you. Here, let me show you that it's still there. Here we go. Let's share it. Let's share with you guys so you can see. See right there. Do you see? Villages, part 1, right there. Just waiting to upload. Just waiting to upload. It's ready to go. Body cam exposes the real potsters. Villages, part 1. It's still there. Yeah. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Yeah. It like I said, they're not stopping me. They think they are, but they're not. Those videos will be back up. I can tell you right now that YouTube will eventually catch them in their bullshit, and it will happen. Do you need a dance break for a refill? I think I have something that I can give you if you need a refill of coffee. How about I give you a little bit of one of my favorite people out there? One of my favorite peoples out there It's not going to be a dance, but it's going to be danceable. So you guys get ready. Go grab yourself a cup of coffee because we're going to showcase one of my favorite peoples, the Trash Panda. The Trash Panda.
Little bit trashy. Rolling in later, shades on, smile crooked, bow tie tight like trouble booked it. Lip gloss shining, eyes cut mean, boardwalk queen of a bad girl scene. Gold hoop swinging, boots hit the floor. Somebody whispers, look out, there's more. She don't chase drama, she lets it arrive, then steals the room like she planned it live. She's got grace when the lights hit right, but the parking lot knows her name that night. Sugar on top, smoke underneath, smile so sweet with trouble in her teeth. Rogue mama, classy, sassy, little bit trashy. Rogue mama, too much sparkle, twice as flashy. She bless your heart, then take your fries. Bat those lashes, weaponize the eyes. Rogue mama, a little pharaoh, watch out guys. Classy, sassy, little bit trashy. Classy, sassy. She plants flowers in the morning sun. By midnight she's already on the run. Not from the law, just from good advice. She heard it once and ignored it twice. She knows every bartender from here to Newark. Talks real smooth, then makes the room work. Sweet as tea with a gasoline splash. High class heels in low class trash. Rogue mama, classy, sassy, little bit trashy. Rogue mama, too much sparkle, twice as flashy. She'll steal your seat, then steal the show. Leave a lipstick on the microphone. Rogue mama, bad idea in designer disguise. Rogue mama, classy, sassy. Rogue mama, classy, sassy, little bit trashy. Rogue mama, classy, sassy, little bit trashy. Rogue mama, too much sparkle, twice as flashy. She's got charm, she's got bite. She's the reason for the flashing lights. Rogue mama, classy, sassy, little bit trashy. Classy. Little bit trashy. Classy. Rogue mama. Rogue mama. Rogue mama.
One of my favorite people, Rogue Mama. She helped out making that, and she deserves every bit of love. If you haven't, you can always follow Rogue Mama. She is one of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites. What's crazy is they have said and done things on their channel that should have deleted their channel, but they're still up. You know why? Because we're not those kind of people. We don't go and false flag. We don't go on the attack for them. We just mock them in their stupidity and laugh even harder. That's the thing. The thing is, people think she thought I'd be all upset about, oh, let's see if he's upset. No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing at every bit of it. Dragon's Gravy, good to see you. I laugh at every bit of their crazy. I can show you what I mean by how much I laugh at their crazy, because I have come to the conclusion that they really don't like what I do. So I have things like this that I find funny, use their own words and make some music. Oh yes. Why is it not muted? It shouldn't be muted. That was weird. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't muted. Maybe it was just me. We'll have to see. Let me pull something up real quick. Let me try that again. Let's see if it works. Nope. No audio. That's weird. All right, that didn't work. Let's see. We'll remove that. We'll try it a different way. Damn it. Try it a different way. That didn't give any audio. I could see it didn't give any audio. Oh, that's not good. Let's see. Stop the media. Oh, I see. I think I know what it was. Let's see if that worked. Let's see if this works. And we'll give it a try.
Yeah.
There it is.
Doctor said we ran every test.
All right, I found the issue. Here we go. You get it. You're going to get it. All right.
Yeah. Doctor said we ran every test. MRI, X-ray, scope, whole chart. Then he looked at the nurse and said, damn, we gotta go looking for a fart. She said, my bad, got my eyeball strip. I think nerve puts her when I stand too long. Sticky fingers said, we're gonna do this fast. We gotta probe deep in that ass. First she already, then it ain't that bad, then it's go back from a chick she had, and then it got chipped by a dog, and then it mixed that up probing now with a thing. Then it over down with a dog, diagnosis written on with a hot dog. Every ribs in the bitch and cook a pain, going deep to relieve the pain. We gotta go looking for a fart, but we hunting for her brain in that ass. Doctor the double ball scope, going with such a great matter whether the sun don't wish. Try my phone, nah, that's cap. The bread slipped down, I got lost in the crack, then it over down with a dog on the table, probing that booty like a medical fable. She said, my bitch is a renegade on fire, he said, must be getting into the lower empire. MRI shows the tonsils hanging low, but instead of the skull, we chicken the hole, stick it in your ear, then the whole damn skull, 100 with neurons with the turd usually flow. Found something squishy, wait, that's not shit. Feels like brain, girl, this is it. Every push and twist got the eyes rolling back, Doc yelling Eureka in the middle of the crack. By the dog, the running the fam, and the real issues buried with the thoughts began. Wow, I think I see the so low, and the brain covered in stroke. She meaning that's my brain stem right there. That's what the bullets in the medical chair. Optic nerve, over this two the maneuver was hiding in the one wrong wiggle, and the whole chocolate break on that last mission accomplished. Now she's standing tall, no more eyeball stress. Vision crystal clear from the back to quest. Carry pics without touching the head, just a deep colon cleanse and some lube instead. Put out the pulse and you'll be fine. Your brain was in your ass the whole time. She walked down like a brain back in place. Next time she'll know, don't ignore the bass. Yeah, moral of the story. When the MRI lies and the symptoms don't add, grab the lube, bend over, and go looking for the brain in that ass. Let her rip! Let her rip!
I love it. I love it. Did someone drop an MDMA in the office? Bend over and look. Might find your brain up there somewhere. Yeah. If you know, you know. Just wonderful to this song. Oh yeah. That would be really interesting. You'd probably do a preacher stance from there. Preaching pole stripper. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Mal. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. Let's get back to this. I don't think I'm going to get to the other part of it. Man, I'm running low on time.
And then he's stuttering like crazy because he knows he's screwed. Because what else was scheduled April 28th? The deposition in front of this judge.
Yep.
With no objections, nothing said about any appointments whatsoever. And so he runs around in circles. And he goes, it was scheduled the same day that the deposition was scheduled. He admits it. Whew. Wow. So then the judge goes, did you even attempt to speak to the opposing counsel? And Randy is there going, he's in the camera shaking his head no, answering the question. But Saran Wrap is going, well, I believe my assistant tried to schedule some phone calls, but it never happened. And Randy is there going, by the way, this is just another lie, another cover up, which she is not falling for. They are busted. And so the judge then turns it over to Randy. Mr. Shockett, what do you have to say about this? And he says, this is insane. This deposition, the deposition should have happened. And their motion for an emergency protective order against the deposition should be immediately denied. This was told to the courts that it was made months in advance when it wasn't, because now Lynette has gone live in chats stating that it was scheduled the exact day where we were in bankruptcy court, April 28th. Gee, you think that's a coincidence?
A quinkadink?
And he goes, they're lying to you. They put it in the writing. It was scheduled months in advance. Now they're telling you here in court that it was actually scheduled the same day that we scheduled the deposition. And the judge says, that's enough. I agree. And she goes, I am absolutely going to deny the motion for the protective order. So she barely gives anybody anything to say, and she denies the protective order against the deposition immediately. And Randy goes, well, Judge, I also want to state that we need to reschedule this, but we are also asking for all fees associated with this. And the judge goes, okay, well, did anybody show? Well, let me tell you, I showed, Randy showed, court reporter showed, Saran Wrap even showed with his child screaming in the back of the car. So Saran Wrap can show up with a screaming child in the back of the car, but Lynette can't show up. And Saran Wrap on record, which this federal judge is going to receive, is on record stating that he didn't know whether his client was going to show or not. That the night before she was adamant she would not be showing, but he got erratic text messages in the morning and thought there could be a possibility. Obviously, she didn't show. So Randy says, we're asking for all fees. Did anybody show? Randy says, yep, we were all there except for her. We want all fees, and we want to reschedule court-ordered deposition within 30 days. And the judge then says to Kevin, who represents Teresa, the trustee, the judge who is going to take possession of all assets of Lynette's, says, do you have anything to add to this? And Kevin says, no, we have no position in this. This wasn't our deposition. We're just here because we're there along the ride. Now, you got to understand, the trustee's job is to get every asset, all monetary assets, and liquidate it before Lynette is technically bankrupt. And then all creditors, such as myself, will receive money from those things. Okay. The trustee isn't a part of the homestead that they are trying. Lynette and Saran Wrap are trying to claim that the trustee can't take their property because they have a homestead exemption, except they don't qualify for a homestead exemption. Number one, they don't have any certificate of occupancy for any type of home on the property. Not only that, once they filed for bankruptcy, oh yeah, that's right, they didn't even have a camper. They were living illegally in a shed. And everything goes based on when you filed. They have no exemption whatsoever. The property and the trustee and Kevin, who represents the trustee, the lawyer, has already stated on the record in federal court that they 100% agree that there should be no homestead, and they want to seize the property and sell the property.
9 months.
And so Kevin,
Awesome.
on behalf of Teresa Bender, the
Thank you,
trustee, says,
Angela
we really have
Quinn.
no position because
Appreciate
it wasn't our
it. Been here
deposition.
9
Remember,
months.
This hearing was just
And
about
one expert year
deposition
with you.
vouching.
That's right.
And the motion that Saran Wrap filed for the emergency injunction not to have the deposition, which was immediately within minutes denied by the judge. So then my other attorney, the specialist in bankruptcy, says, Judge, I would like to add 30 days is great, but we really, really need to get this deposition done in less than 30 days because the hearing is in September. Like, if we can get this on the calendar and a court ordered that it has to be done in less than 30 days, this is very, very important. And so he says it really needs to be done as soon as possible. So the judge then says, what do you have to say about this? What's your client say about this as far as availability and everything? And Saran Wrap, she says that to Saran Wrap. Saran Wrap goes, well, she's available. She'll be available for any time. And he goes, but we're asking, please deny all fees. Please deny all fees. There were issues with childcare, and
this isn't going to work.
Issues in the past here in this courtroom,
which
there were, because Lynette was messing around with the kid. Well, hold a second. Crook was there while they were in court, and Lynette has the kid in there while she's in court, which is illegal, not allowed. Nobody's done anything. Not a single judge has done anything about it yet.
That's right.
So while the law is illegal on the books, nobody has held her accountable to it. And I think that's how a lot of people like her get away with things. They've never been held accountable. And let me clarify.
That's very true. They have let her get away with a lot of stuff.
They're going to be held accountable. There's consequences to that. The entire book of Deuteronomy is about that. Do.
Saran Wrap, don't make promises you can't keep.
Law. God says, follow me, follow my word, I will bless you. Deny me and go against my word, and there will be consequences. And there are consequences when you break the law. You're going to find out what some of those are right now from this hearing. And so he goes, we want Zoom, not in person. We won't consent to doing it in person. We want a Zoom. There's no reason for in person. It has to be Zoom. And Randy steps up and he goes, Judge, I'm not going to get into the full history of this, but there's no way this is happening on Zoom. This must be in person. By the way, we are bringing in an actual court staff to keep her under control, because you already know how much she gets out of control. So there will actually be somebody, an officer of the court, in the actual deposition room, which will be a courtroom.
Yep.
And if she gets out of control, she'll be arrested.
That would happen. They're able to.
That's why it needs to be in person. So Randy goes, it has to be in person. There is no way that this is happening on Zoom. And the judge goes, judge goes, I'm trying to read my writing pretty quick.
I do that often too.
Judge goes, well, first of all, I'm denying the emergency injunction. This was not an emergency. By the way, there was no surgery. It's all a lie. They don't do surgeries. There was never a surgery.
Yeah, pain management doesn't do surgeries.
During court that it was for his knees. It was an emergency procedure for his knees. They don't do knee surgeries at a pain clinic in Chiefland. All right. And then,
yes, Mountain. This was for the protective order that they were trying to avoid deposition. All right. Remember back a little ways that there was supposed to be a deposition in the bankruptcy hearing, and it has to do with the homestead. That she was supposed to be there. Now, Saran Wrap showed up. She did not show up. All right. And whenever she didn't show up, they have to reschedule it. And she is going to end up having to pay fees out of this because the court reporter's there. Court staff is there. This is supposed to be in person. So, and of course, his attorney, Randy, was there, and they have to, if they don't show up by statute, they have to pay those court fees. And so that's more money that she won't be able to discharge. I mean, she just keeps racking these things up, and people have said, well, that she's going to be indebted for the rest of her life. That the mistakes that they keep making, but hey, they keep fucking up. So let them keep screwing up. They will be held accountable.
And the judge is pretty upset with Saran Wrap because Saran Wrap told the judge that his assistant attempted to work things out with a phone call with Randy, which did not happen. That was a complete and total lie. Randy addresses that. That didn't happen. He's shaking his head no. And she goes, this all should have been worked out well in advance. Do you understand that a judge's time is very limited, and a judge should not be sitting here talking about dodging a deposition? Judge should be working on real things that matter. Now, the deposition matters, but not as much as the end-all goal of the actual lawsuit and bankruptcy, right? Judge doesn't need to be bogged down with details. So, there are people out there that look at their bosses and go, you're an idiot because you don't know every detail of your business or your job.
They don't have to.
A good boss hires people for those details for the job, so the good boss can go and do their own thing that the other employees can't do. See, when you do that, you get this thing called synergy, and everybody works together. I would never work my own books. I hire a CPA for that because the CPA specializes in that. You think I know how to use QuickBooks? Nope, not at all. Never going to learn either. And the judge doesn't need to be involved in the details of a deposition. The judge needs to be involved in the outcome, the actual outcome. Think of the judge as a boss of a thriving company. The judge goes, this is the direction we're going. Get there and come to me when we're there. And so the judge is casting the direction. Good bosses casted the direction, and they go, all right, let's go. And takes employees with them. The judge is doing the exact same thing. So, says this should have been worked out. And tells Randy, you have 14 days to file all fees, every fee associated with her dodging the deposition.
Yep.
But also says you need to work that out and discuss all the fees with Saran Wrap. Now, Randy has no problem discussing all this with Saran Wrap. The problem is Saran Wrap won't discuss anything. It's like lips and chips.
Sounds like
Randy's been trying to confer with Chips. And Chips is only giving him dates on Sunday at 8:45. Now, why would Chips do that? Because Chips knows Randy is Jewish. The absolute stupidity. And so Saran Wrap's going to play the same game. These are all games to extend, to delay, to cost me more money. All games.
That's right, Kippy.
So the judge says, all right, Randy, you got 14 days or less to file all fees. You're going to work with Saran Wrap to discuss all fees. And Lynette will be doing a deposition in person within 30 days. It is court ordered. So the judge said Zoom is out of the question. This is not going to happen. This will be in person. And Randy, you can file all fees. Guess what? The judge is already saying she's approving all fees for her dodging the deposition. So I will be compensated for Randy being there, court reporter, everything. She now owes me more money, thousands of dollars. Of course, I suppose when you got nothing and you're going to lose the very property that you don't even have a home on, at that point, who cares, right? They don't care. The only thing I care about is getting them out of my life. They stalked my life. They have harassed my life. And I'll pay what needs to pay to get them out of my life. All right. And then the judge goes on and says the parties will be cooperating. This is the expectation. And then goes on to say, do not bring me back to reschedule another deposition. Now, there's also an issue with discovery, right? Now, we also know in all of the cases, whether it been federal, whether it been state, that Lynette and Crook have never, ever actually produced any discovery, and nobody's kept them accountable to that.
True.
So there was also a filing on discovery, and the judge goes, hey, I have this other filing on discovery. And frankly, I can't even remember what those filings are. There's so many filings right now.
Yes, there are.
And so many other things going on in life that I can't recall what that was all about. But the judge says, what's going on with that, with the discovery? And Randy goes, we have received absolutely nothing. Saran Wrap goes,
Thank you.
my
Melvin.
assistant sent all the responses to the interrogatories. Now, if you're going, what are the interrogatories? That's what Lips is sending out to everybody right now. Myself, George, Megan, Tug, everybody on the planet. And you don't answer those, you got a problem. You're going to get an order against you in court. So Lynette then speaks up. She goes, Manny.
And that's another thing. Somebody is coming up due to have those interrogatories in. Ooh. Yeah, they're supposed to be answering some serious questions. We'll be getting into that here shortly.
Documents, and the judge goes, no, ma'am. Your attorney is here to represent you. How many times does Lynette have to be shut down and told what's appropriate and what's not appropriate in court? It's not that difficult. Shut up.
That's why you have an attorney.
Why is it so difficult for toxic women to shut their toxic mouths? Okay. Well, thankfully, the judge shut her up in a hurry.
Yes.
And frankly, she should have had her phone on mute the entire time. Now,
Yep.
you realize she was probably broadcasting this or recording this for a toothless, overweight, can barely walk lead. Okay, so the judge says, no, ma'am. Your attorney, Saran Wrap says, we sent it. And then Randy goes, oh, you know what? They actually sent it to Dennis Levine, my other attorney, my specialist in this case. And Randy goes, with the court motion.
Thank you,
so they're
Polly.
talking about the court motion with discovery. And honestly, I just wrote down here, I'm not sure. I put down court motion.
It is.
Not sure. Not that you can read my writing. I don't even know what court motion they were particularly addressing. Hey, Susan, Megan, maybe you were listening. Maybe you could actually touch base, put that in the comments, what they were addressing. And then the judge says, so apparently Saran Wrap's assistant sent everything to Dennis Levine, my bankruptcy specialist. And Randy didn't know about that yet. And so we do have some things. And as a matter of fact, as I've been recording this, Randy has been messaging me some of those documents.
Ooh.
And let's see what else. The judge then goes, well, as far as trial goes, do we need to reschedule? And she asked Randy first, and Randy says, no, I don't think so. And Dennis Levine goes, no, I don't think so. I think we're good. September.
Good to
we're going to
see
be
you,
good for
slow-moving
September
giant.
as long as we get that deposition as soon as possible. And then judge goes, Saran Wrap? He goes, this is his answer. Direct quote. Nothing from me. Well, he got a spanking.
Yeah, you
He's
did.
lying to the federal judge months and months in advance for an emergency procedure. Judge calls him out on it. Liar. Now your client is paying all these fees for dodging a deposition. She's finally being held accountable. And the judge says, this is the part that got me the most. Susan, tell him if I'm lying. The judge literally says, I think you two should be discussing a settlement because if this goes to trial, everybody will be required to be here in person. The judge is telling Saran Wrap already that Lynette is going to lose and you better start trying to work out a settlement with Jeremy because it ain't gonna go well for you. Yet again, Lynette has found herself in a position listening to fools. A fool listening to fools is going to continue to do foolish things.
More to come. More to come on that. Yeah. I wanted to get that little bit right in there. And we've got We got something else we're going to show you. We got something else we're going to show you. And I think you guys are going to find this quite interesting. Now, this has to do with the lips and the chips, okay? If you haven't seen it yet, you're going to like this. You're going to like this a lot. Look at there. Look at that. Look at that. What do you see right there? So Randy came in, and I was actually wrong yesterday. I misread something. It was something that Lips had filed, and the judge hadn't ruled on. So her stuff is not in there like she says that it is. Her stuff is not in there like it says that it is. And so this right here, Randy filed this right here, which is a plaintiff's motion to strike unauthorized pro se filings. Yes, finally. Yes. Plaintiffs Jeremy Hales, Elephant Shoe, George, Megan, Tug respectfully move this court pursuant to the court's inherent authority to control its docket, strike unauthorized filings, to strike all filings made by Lips in a pro se capacity during the period when she was represented by counsel. Specifically, plaintiffs seek to strike all pro se filings made by defendant Lips through June 9th, 2026, during which time she was represented by Chips, who served as her attorney of record until an order granting his withdrawal was rendered. Florida law unequivocally prohibits hybrid representation, which means that, where you have an attorney and then you're filing things pro se. They don't allow that. Where a party simultaneously proceeds with counsel and files pro se pleadings and other documents. A party who is represented by an attorney must appear only through an attorney and may not file documents or participate in proceedings on the party's own behalf. Florida Supreme Court has established that a defendant does not have a constitutional right to hybrid representation. And if Lips was such a great attorney, she would have known this. Pro se filings made by a represented party are legal nullities without any legal force or effect and must be stricken as unauthorized pleadings. It does not address the well-established principle that pro se filings are a nullity when filed by a party that is represented by counsel. Now, defendant Lips was represented by Chips until June 9th, 2026. During the period of representation, Lips, who is subject to a pending motion to declare her as a vexatious litigant, filed 17 pro se filings which constitute prohibited hybrid representation. The pending motion to declare her as vexatious litigant is attached. These 17 authorized filings are nullities as a matter of law and must be stricken from the record. Statement of facts. This is a civil action pending in the county. George, Tug, Megan, Jeremy, and his company filed this action against Michael and Leslie, or Lips and Chips. During this pendency of this litigation, Lips was represented by Chips, gives his bar number. Chips is also a named defendant in this action who has filed for bankruptcy protection on information and belief. During the period of representation, Lips, who is subject to a pending motion to declare her a vexatious litigant, filed 17 pro se filings, which constitute prohibited hybrid representation. A copy of the docket sheet in this matter is attached here too, as Exhibit 2. Florida law categorically prohibits hybrid representation where the party is simultaneously represented by counsel and files pro se pleadings. This prohibition is grounded in explicit procedural rules, Florida Supreme Court precedent, and fundamental principles governing the orderly administration of justice. A party represented by an attorney must appear only through that attorney and may not file documents on the party's own behalf. Pro se filings made by represented parties are not merely improper or subject to discretionary striking. Rather, such filings are legal nullities without any legal force or effect. The nullity doctrine operates automatically, regardless of whether opposing parties file a motion to strike. through such motions appropriately clarify the record and request formal action. The prohibition on hybrid representation applies comprehensively to all files, all types of filings, including motions, notices, petitions, and other pleadings. Florida courts have consistently struck pro se filings by represented parties across a full spectrum of document types, from jurisdictional notices to substantive motions. The policy rationale supporting this prohibition include preventing confusion in legal proceedings, protecting opposing parties from unfair burdens, preserving the integrity of the attorney-client relationship, preventing tactical manipulation, which was what this was, and promoting judicial efficiency. The very exceptions recognized in Florida law apply only in narrow criminal contexts, such as a plea withdrawal motions alleging an adversarial relationship with counsel, or motions unequivocally seeking to discharge counsel. These exceptions have no application in civil litigation. But Lips was represented by counsel through June 9th, 2026. Any pro se filings she made during this period are legal nullities that must be stricken from the record. The subsequent termination of representation does not retroactively cure the defects in filings that were nullities when made. The unusual circumstance that her attorney was also a co-defendant does not create any exception to the nullity rule. Florida law provides no basis for giving legal effect in pro se filings made during representation. This court must strike all filings to maintain the orderly administration of this case. Florida law prohibits hybrid representation, treats pro se filings. This is the argument. Represented parties must appear only through counsel and may not file pro se documents. Florida law establishes a clear absolute prohibition on hybrid representation. A party who is represented by an attorney must appear only through an attorney. They may not file documents, participate in a trial, or a hearing on the party's own behalf. This rule reflects a fundamental principle governing the administration of justice in Florida courts. When a party retains or is appointed counsel, the attorney becomes the sole voice for the party in court proceedings. But they don't listen to these kinds of bad behavior. Morning, Squid. A party may not simultaneously represent by counsel and yet file pro se pleadings or petitions in the same case. And it gives the case law right here. It applies equally to all parties in litigation, whether criminal or civil. So, just like Jeremy couldn't file something pro se in one of these hearings at all. The concept of hybrid representation is not limited to courtroom appearances, but extends to all filings and pleadings. When counsel's of record, any attempt by the party to file documents independently creates a prohibited hybrid representation. They have no right to partially represent themselves and at the same time be partially represented by counsel. Florida statutes. Pro se filings by represented parties are legal nullities without force or effect. They do not treat pro se filings by represented parties as merely improper or subject to discretionary striking. Rather, such filings are legal nullities. Characterization is a nullity means the filing is void from its inception and produces no legal consequences. So all across Florida, they've uniformly applied this nullity doctrine. It's treated as nullities when filed by a party that is represented by counsel. And there's more filings on this. There's more statutes on it, and he's citing all of the statutes that are on there. I'm not going to read through every single one of them because I don't want to bore you guys with it. Now, courts have adopted the general rule with limited exceptions that are not applicable here. Now, that would be, for example, they're not going to treat it, and those narrow applications, as they said, have to do with, if you're saying that there's a difference between your attorney, a pro se litigant could file something like that, basically saying that there's an issue, but they can't file anything past that. They can file, say, hey, my attorney, we've got conflict, or he can't represent me, or she can't represent me. So at that point, you could file something like that, but anything else until the court rules on it becomes null and void. They should strike each and every such filings as unauthorized pro se pleadings and treat them as nullities, which basically like it didn't happen. They have also constantly struck pro se filings by represented parties, and it's giving more right here. Court struck pro se petition for writ of habeas corpus filed when the petitioner was represented by counsel, stating the petition was stricken as unauthorized pleading. They also have employed this rule to strike all sorts of pro se filings, including notices that would otherwise invoke an appellate court's jurisdiction. Another one right there. The court has struck pro se notices to invoke discretionary jurisdiction, pro se petitions for writs of habeas corpus, and it basically gives you what those are. So these would be each one of these filings that she filed. Randy already knew this going into this, so that's why he hadn't filed any response to it until the court actually ruled out. Once the court made their ruling, see, there's always a possibility that the court would have came in and said, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z. And I wouldn't be surprised within the next couple of days that the judge rules on this and strikes everything that she filed up until his order of allowing her to represent herself. Trial court filings are subject to the nullity rule, regardless of their nature or importance. The rule extends to, and it just basically is giving you all of those rules that this falls under. Then E, policy rationales for support of prohibition on hybrid representation. The prohibition on hybrid representation serves multiple important policy objectives that protect the integrity of judicial proceedings and ensure fair administration of justice. It prevents confusion in legal proceedings. Courts opposing parties and even represented parties' own counsel need clarity about who speaks for a party and what positions that party is advancing. Their articulated purpose behind the refusal of courts to allow litigants to file separate pro se briefs in pleadings, while represented, is that allowing such bullshit would frustrate and confuse rather than advance the process and administration of justice. Because if she files something and then he comes and files something right behind it that counters what she's filing, it becomes very confusing to not only the court, but to court staff. It becomes confusing to the judge. It becomes confusing to opposing counsel, because how are you supposed to respond to X whenever you have two different filings that are not the same? And it just creates unfair burdens. And when a party is represented by counsel, opposing parties have the right to expect that all communications and filings will come through that counsel, who is bound by professional rules of conduct and ethical obligations, saying that the reason why you want to have an attorney is because pro se isn't bound by those ethical obligations, which she knows this. And we've seen that she's very unethical in her dealings, like quite a bit. Requiring opposing parties to respond to filings from both counsel and the party pro se imposes an unreasonable burden. It also preserves the integrity of the attorney-client relationship. When counsel undertakes representation, the attorney assumes professional responsibility for the case and must make strategic decisions in his client's best interest. That's why whenever, it sort of goes the same thing where people have said, hey, don't be reaching out and reporting these people, because there's a process that this has to go through. If somebody is already on it and there is a plan put in place, no different than whenever I said, hey, I've got these people that are trying to do a privacy complaint on my channel. Anybody that comes in and starts throwing extra stuff in there can easily mess up that process that it needs to go through. That's why I've said, don't worry about it. I got this handled. Dealing with it with YouTube Legal. Other people want to jump in there and say, I'm going to do something. It doesn't help the process. All it does is it harms the process, because now you're clogging up YouTube with these issues that I'm dealing with. I've already got a plan in place. Like I said, there's a reason why those filings are showing up. Those dash cam videos are showing up on Rumble. This was already planned out ahead of time because they were threatening to strike on my channel. They were already claiming that they were going to start false flagging, and that's exactly what they did. You have to remember that those videos were up for quite some time until they got it through, until, Megan, which she has every ability to do, and I expected that she would, to show that this is their behavior, that they are false flagging people, because it goes to show their behavior. And we also now have them on video claiming that's what their intention was the whole time, to false flag channels. But don't worry, those videos are all coming back. As I showed you earlier, the video has already been re-uploaded. I'm waiting for YouTube to complete its process. Once it completes its process, those videos will be re-released. There's a plan already in place. These things have been thought out. They didn't just happen overnight. All their bad behavior is being shown. That's why whenever people want to jump in and start throwing in their 2 cents, they mess with the process. Allowing the client to file independent pleadings undermines counsel's ability to manage the case effectively. Courts have recognized the impossible burden placed on the court, especially where the motions filed or positions taken by client and counsel are inconsistent. Fourth, the rule prevents tactical manipulation of the judicial process. Without a prohibition on hybrid representation, parties could strategically choose when to proceed through counsel and when to file pro se, potentially gaining unfair advantages or creating delay. The bright line rule against hybrid representation eliminates such tactical gamesmanship. Fifth, the prohibition promotes judicial efficiency. Courts should not be required to sort through multiple filings from the same party, determine which have been approved by a counsel, and resolve conflicts between counsel's filings and the party's pro se submissions. Limited exceptions do not apply in civil litigation. Florida law recognizes very limited exceptions to the rule that pro se filings by represented parties are nullities. These exceptions are narrow and do not apply in civil litigation context. The primary exception involves criminal defendants who file pro se motions to withdraw guilty pleas based on allegations that create an adversarial relationship with counsel. A limited exception to striking the rule pro se pleadings as nullities exists where a defendant files a pro se motion to withdraw a plea which contains specific allegations that give rise to an adversarial relationship, such as misadvice, affirmation, misrepresentations, or coercion that led to the entry of the plea. In such circumstances, the trial court must hold a limited hearing to determine whether an adversarial relationship exists that would entitle the defendant to appoint a conflict-free counsel. These don't meet that standard. Another recognized exemption involves pro se motions to discharge counsel. A defendant does not have the right to file pro se motions while also represented by counsel, and such motions should be treated as nullities unless they are unequivocally seek to discharge court-appointed counsel and does not extend to other types of filings. We saw a lot of that during Sarah Boone. These exceptions have no application in civil litigation. The exceptions arise from unique circumstances in criminal cases where constitutional rights to counsel and self-representation intersect, and where the defendant seeks to end the representation that would otherwise bar pro se filings. Civil litigants do not face that same constitutional consideration, and the exceptions do not create any general right to hybrid representation in civil proceedings. Now, Lips was prohibited from filing pro se pleadings during that period of representation. This is another reason why it should be stricken. The record establishes that Lips was represented by Chips through June 9th, 2026. During this entire period of representation, Lips was subject to Florida's prohibition against hybrid representation. She was required to be here only through her attorney and was prohibited from filing any pro se pleadings, motions, or other documents with this court. Any pro se filing she made during this period violated the prohibition on hybrid representation and are null as a matter of law. Now, the unusual attorney-defendant dual role does not create an exception. This case presents the unusual circumstance that Chips served as Lip's attorney while simultaneously being named a defendant in the same litigation. This dual role does not alter the application of Florida's prohibition against hybrid representation or create any exception to that rule. The fundamental principle remains unchanged while represented by counsel. Lips could not file pro se documents, and Florida law recognizes only those narrow exceptions listed above. None apply here. This means if Leslie believed that Michael, status as a co-defendant created a conflict or otherwise prevented him from adequately representing her interests, her remedy was to request appointment of conflict-free counsel. She could not, however, maintain representation while simultaneously papering the court. The subsequent termination of representation does not cure prior defects. It does not retroactively validate any pro se filings she made while represented. If the filings where nullities were made, they will remain nullities. The nullity doctrine focuses on the status of the party at the time the filing was made. Proper procedure was when a represented party has filed pro se motions is for the trial court to strike the motion as unauthorized. And they've held that where a defendant filed those pro se motions while represented, the trial court should withdraw any order addressing the pro se motions on the merits and enter an order striking the motion as unauthorized. So they must strike those unauthorized pro se filings for several compelling reasons. First, those filings are nullity without legal effect. Second, allowing authorized filings to remain creates confusion in the proceedings. Third, plaintiffs should not be required to respond to unauthorized filings when a filing is a nullity, has no legal force or effect. Fourth, Florida courts have consistently struck such filings in similar circumstances. The appropriate temporal scope for striking pro se filings in this is the period which Lips was actually represented by Chips. Through June 9th, 2026, any pro se filings made during this period or nullities must be stricken. After June 9th, she was no longer represented, could properly proceed pro se, assuming she provided proper notice of her pro se status to the court and opposing parties. The conclusion is, all of those filings during that period when she was represented through June 9th, 2026, order that the stricken filings have no legal effect and that no party is required to respond to them and grant such other and further relief as the court deems just and proper, was submitted June 10th. Now tomorrow we're going to go through the rest of this document, but there's something else that I wanted to show you. And I'm hiding my screen so I can pull this up because it's just as important. It's just as important. And I want you guys to see this. And I want to make sure that I have things redacted. That's why I dropped it down because they like to do these kinds of shenanigans where, you know, every time that you show a document, they paper things in there that you have to go in and edit out to make sure that you get to those particular pieces. Damn it. All right. Apply. Okay, continue. And we'll do it here. Give me just a second. I hate whenever these things happen. So what I need to do is go in here and one more thing just to make it legible in this, because this is going to be very important here shortly. So give me a second. Close that. Close all tabs. There we go. Yes. And we're going to pull this back up. And now we should be able to get this thing fixed. Here we go. And we will get, damn it. Stop giving me ads, bastards. And we'll do this right here. And we're going to redact that. Redact the text there. And then I've got to go in here. What the hell is going on? Something bad happened. Yes. No. All right, give me just a second. This is going to take me just a second to do. And it's acting really in this filing. We'll do this. Give me a second. Recognize the text. It's asking me for crazy stuff. Recognize text. There we go. And I'm having to do this editing on the fly because it is being crazy, and I don't want to have I don't want to have these kinds of things being shown on there. Let's see. We're going to just grab this right here, and we're going to there we go, and we'll do this right. Nope. That looks like that'll work there. Why is it being difficult? Ah, there we go. Freehand. And we're going to block that. And then undo that. All right. There we go. Now I can do this, and we'll do this right here. And I'm making sure that I've got this big enough to get it all done. Here we go. And then we'll get this one here because, you know, they like to, like I said, they like to strike things on YouTube, and we're not going to give them the opportunity to. We're going to make sure that they can't do any of the striking because YouTube is a bitch. So we're fixing all of this right here and getting all of the identifiable information. And of course, you know, I'm pretty good with getting these. Oh, that's amazing. That's going to be really interesting for them to note this. This is really good. Oh, look. Yeah, we got another one there too. Someone screwed up really bad. Someone screwed up really bad, and I think it's funny. Now we know how bad they go, the bad things they do. Let me see, I'm double checking, making sure. And we got, oh, yep, almost forgot that one there. There we go. Get that one. And right there. And then we can put in here like this right there. Idiots. There we go. Idiots. It's really hard to write with a mouse. It really is. But we are coming along. And then we're going to, all right. I think that does it. I think we got it now. All right. You guys are gonna love this one. Just you wait. Just you wait. This is going to be so awesome. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. So it looks like, you know, it looks, nope. I'm going to have to hide that again. Hold on just a second. I found something else in here. Let me fix this. And redact, apply. Apply. Redact, apply. All right. Continue. And we'll save it right there. Save. Yes. Of course. Of course. Here we go. So right here, as you can see, this is what Lips filed right here. This was her final filing on 6/9. Please take notice in the attached email to Lips. Attempt to meet and confer. That was, no, that's the thing. This wasn't to her. This was from her. Just so you guys know, this was from her. The attached email to Lips. That's not what it was. This was an attached email from Lips. An attached email from Lips. As you can see, she's filing this. This is the attached email from Lips. You want to see what the attached email is? Oh, yes. The attached email. Why don't we get to that? Why don't we take a nice little gander? And damn it, another one there. Give me just a second. It's being difficult. Looks like Looks like it's still not taking on there. Son of a buck. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? Doggone it. All right, let me do this again. And we're going to make it 100% right there. And we're going to do this. And let me do the free drawing right here. And for whatever reason, it's being difficult, but we've got it. We've got it right here. It's being difficult again. I thought I had all of this wiped off of there, but for whatever reason, it's not doing it. All right. And this right here. See, I fixed this, but for whatever reason, it didn't take. All right. And why is not my pen much thicker? So bad. So bad. I thought I had this all done, and whenever I saved it, it didn't save. So we'll just get this all taken care of right here. There we go. There we go. All right. Go down here and get this one. All right. That one's done. And then this one's done. And I'll come back and probably have to edit those out of there. It's being difficult. Give me a second. And nothing identifiable there. And this is going to be interesting right here. There we go. All right. There we are. So she sent an email to Randy and to Doreen. Dear Mr. Shockett, as you're aware, I've adopted all filings prior to the order to withdrawal, and I'm prepared to set an effective date of those filings. As of today, I trust you recognize I'm fully within my rights to adopt my prior filings. But she's not, because they were hybrid filings. The Shizzy Circus, yes. Your recent motion to strike these filings is entirely without merit. Nope. It is completely right. It is apparent that the sole purpose is to insist I refile already served documents is unnecessary to complicate the docket and delay proceedings. No, you filing those was unnecessary. See, that's the problem. All those filings was inappropriate for her to do. And it was pointed out that it was inappropriate for her to do. Now, I don't see any message from Randy in any of this. This is all her, sent to them, going by the name of Anna. Interesting, huh? I've already agreed that the day of the adoption of these filings will be today in accordance with the rules. Pursuant to my obligation, I'm seeking to meet and confer regarding your motion to strike. Should you refuse to accept the date of June 9th for my discovery request and persist in advance this frivolous position, I intend to address your conduct in a motion to the court, including a request for a referral to the bar for her fuck up. I'm in receipt of substantial information regarding prior ethical violations and other serious matters, including your involvement in improper profit sharing arrangements. Threaten much? Threaten much? I mean, this all looks like a threat saying I'm going to do something to you unless you abide by what I say. I urge you to reconsider your position, accept the date of June 9th as the date of filing for my discovery request. Should you insist on requiring unnecessary refiling, I have no choice but to bring your conduct to the court's attention, as it serves no legitimate purpose and only burdens the docket. No, your filing burdened the docket. Think someone put acid in your coffee this morning? Maybe. Please confirm whether you'll accept that as my operating date of filings or whether you intend to proceed with your motion. If you choose the latter, be prepared to justify to the court the rationale for this approach. Best regards, Lips Escuela, permanently retired. But look who all she attached on this. Oh, she attached paint chips. She attached the flea. Somebody else don't recognize the name. Who are those people? Are they part of this case? Why are they getting those emails? Interesting, huh? Think she's over there colluding with these people? You think? You think so? They and you know, she knows she's going to do this. Pretty interesting. But this right here, all of this right here, is a threat saying, I am going to do something to you unless you do what I tell you to do. And you know what Randy did? He did exactly what any good attorney would do. Don't respond to stupid. File it in court, deal with it there. He probably sent her a message saying, I see that you filed this and this is what we plan on filing. Just so you know, this is what we plan on filing. And then she went on a tantrum tear. Oh, yeah. Yeah, retired means she can no longer call herself Escuela. She's permanently retired, and she can still call herself Escuela. She can still call herself Escuela. But yes, she is permanently retired. Different status than retired. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But she will. But she's not retired. She's permanently retired. You know, in lieu of discipline. Permanently retired in lieu of discipline. Gotta love it. Absolutely have to love every bit of her shenanigans. It is making it really difficult on her, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Her own bad behavior is making it difficult for her to continue being horrible. Now, whenever we get here tomorrow, I will guarantee you there's probably going to be more filings. There's going to be more stuff to go over, and we're here for it. We're here for you. We are here to entertain you, and I hope you are entertained. I hope you had a good time this morning, and I hope you woke up with a nice, easy feeling in your soul, knowing that life is beautiful. And I appreciate all of you guys. Oh, I'm going to have such a wonderful day. I've got some really cool stuff planned, and oh my gosh, the re-uploads are going to be glorious. As a woman in and about to hit your kitchen and cook some yummy food for your weekend, F1 on your telly. So I bid you farewell and have a great day and see you around. Take care. Thank you, Melanie. And I appreciate it. Going to be watching some F1. Good stuff. I love it. Thank you, my Swedish dame. I appreciate it. I don't play stupid with me. I'm better at it. Lips, probably. That could be. Everybody have a wonderful morning, and we are going to be sending you go see Mo in the deep end and go enjoy some of her. And we've got some stuff planned, Mo and I do, for next week. We will see you guys soon. Peace.
I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Baby. Morning's here again. So let's do this, sugar. And no cream. Wake up slow, take that first sip. Shizzy's got 'em slipping, losing their grip. His moves so smooth to start your day. What you gonna do? Oh, you know the way. You know Papa don't flinch, don't blink. Ooh, baby, he's sharper than you think. Morning Whiz, take it in. Shizzy's got a whole new spin. Fools keep falling, truth's on fire. Papa Nut just lit the pyre. Oh no, They tried to come for him. Look at those fools looking so dim. They poke, they scratch, they beg, they plead. But I'm right here, waiting for my daddy to leave. Pour it black, shake off the night. Shizzy's tease and get me going just right. Morning whiz, start the show. Sip it slow, let it flow. Fools are crying, game's been set. Ooh, baby, they ain't seen nothing yet. Now that's a morning sugar. Coffee's hot and burning. And Shizzy Daddy, oh, he's just getting started. Come on, Daddy, get me some of that something.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry. He took 50 pounds.